right before your biggest blessing. Your life may seem like it's falling apart, but what if that very chaos is the confirmation? These are 5 signs that God is getting you ready for something big. When God plans promotion for you, life often gets harder first. Pressure rises in your schedule, relationships, and mind. Doors close, people pull back, and your feelings surge. It looks like punishment, but it is preparation. A new stage is starting, even if you cannot see it yet. You might think pressure means God left you. You feel overwhelmed and start to panic when life gets harder. You question your faith because nothing seems to work. You try to fix everything fast, and it only gets worse. Here is the first crack in that thinking. Pressure does not mean failure. Pressure means training for what is next. Your feelings say you lost, but the plan is still active. When people misread pressure, they quit too soon. They walk away from faith right before the opportunity arrives. They call this time punishment, and they stop growing. Some never return. Picture the worst week. Friends stop calling, your account balance drops, and sleep will not come. Your thoughts race, and your chest feels tight all day. You believe this is the end, not a setup for change. But then a new view starts to form. Pressure is not your enemy. Pressure is a method God uses to prepare you for promotion. This does not remove pain, but it brings purpose. You start to steady on the inside. Start by trusting God's timing with small choices each day. Wait 24 hours before big decisions. Pray simple words, and keep your daily work. Endure hardship with faith by showing up, telling the truth, and staying consistent. Reframe challenges as steps by writing one lesson from each hard moment. Here is the clear truth. You are not falling apart. You are stepping into a larger role. Stay steady. Joseph lived this path with betrayal, slavery, and prison before the palace. His setbacks placed him where he needed to be for promotion. Romans 8:28 says, "All things work for the good of those who love him." So keep trusting, keep working, and keep your heart steady. If pressure can prepare you, consider the painful losses that come before increase. God often removes before he adds. Friends fade, doors close, and old dreams stop moving. It looks like failure, but it is careful positioning. Stay with me, because this loss holds a hidden favor you need to see. You see a closed door and feel rejected. You replay missed chances and blame yourself. You keep old friends close because they used to feel safe. You resist change and call it loyalty. Inside, confusion grows. Loss is not punishment. It is preparation. God clears what no longer serves your future path. This shift changes how you read every closed door. When you keep holding people who cannot go with you, your journey stalls. New chances pass because your hands stay full. Trust gets thin, and hope slows down. You start calling delay your fate. Then another door shuts. You cling harder, but the grip only hurts more. The relationship keeps slipping. The offer keeps dissolving, and your heart sinks. Sleep fades, prayers feel dry, and doubt grows heavy. You start to mistrust God's plan, and despair moves in. But then a quiet truth arrives. God is not punishing you. He is guiding you. He removes what no longer helps your future. This is care, not cruelty. Peace begins to return as you accept this new view. Start by naming what God has removed, and bless it as it goes. Say out loud, "I release this with trust," and mean it. Clear space in your schedule and your heart, because space is part of the plan. Stop chasing people who keep leaving, and stop reopening dead opportunities. Use the open time to rest. Pray simply, and plan one small next step. Here is the edge. Removal before addition. When God removes something, it shows he is preparing you for better results. The loss is not the end. It is a sign of progress. John chapter 15 verse 2 says that God prunes fruitful branches so they bear more fruit. I once cried over a friendship that faded, and later I saw it was protection. A job closed, and months later a better path opened that fit my calling. Choose today to release and bless what is gone, and watch for the next sign. But even after subtraction, God does not leave you empty. He stirs something deep inside to signal a new season. Something shifts inside you before anything shifts around you. You feel restless in places that once felt right. This is not random mood or boredom. It is a holy stirring. Stay with it, because what it signals will surprise you. Many people misread that restlessness as aimlessness or dissatisfaction. You push harder at work, but the drive is gone. Old friends feel distant, and small talk drains you. Your routines still run, yet they no longer fit. It is not burnout. God is waking your spirit before He changes your situation. He disrupts what feels normal so you notice what is new. What used to make sense now feels wrong. If you ignore this, your growth slows and then stops. You stay in an old season and lose energy. Your prayers feel dull, and your heart hardens bit by bit. Keep resisting, and you feel more numb each day. Something will break. I have watched someone force themselves to stay where comfort once lived. Each day they smiled outside, but inside they felt empty and tired. Work drained them, friendships felt flat, and nights brought no peace. One morning, they could not rise from bed. But then a simple truth became clear. Restlessness is a signal that heaven is drawing near. It is God inviting you to pay attention. When you honor that signal, clarity starts to return. Start by naming what now feels wrong, and write it without editing. Make space for silence with God each day, and ask for one next step. Release old commitments that no longer serve your calling, even small ones. Seek wise counsel, and test new ideas with humble action. Here is the core truth. Your spirit wakes up before your situation does. God alerts the inside first, then He moves the outside. Trust the order, even when your timeline protests. God says in Isaiah chapter 43, verse 19, "Behold, I am doing a new thing. I have seen it many times. First your inner life becomes alert, then a job offer arrives, a move becomes clear, or the right people reach out. Pay attention to the stirring. Say yes to the small step, and watch for signs. As your spirit wakes, new invitations and options begin to appear. Stay ready, because the next signal may come without warning. Sometimes favor arrives and you did not push for it. Calls come, emails appear, and things line up with your quiet prayers. It feels strange, almost too easy, yet deeply right. Here is where the real test begins, and the signs will surprise you. Many people explain it away as luck or good timing. You downplay it, delay a reply, or talk yourself out of it. You say it is not real because it came fast. You shut the door on what you asked for. But what if the ease is the mark of God's hand at work? You prayed, you waited, and now the path is clear. The alignment is not random, it is guidance. Something new is trying to begin. When you doubt it, you risk missing your moment. You refuse the meeting, stall on the offer, or ignore the message. Fear tells you to protect yourself from risk, so you do nothing. The window closes. I watched someone pass on a role they had prayed about for years. They said it was too good to be true, so they stayed the same. Months later, they were still stuck and bitter, while the chance was gone. The room felt heavy when they said they knew they blew it. But then a shift can happen when you see favor as God's confirmation. You choose to believe that alignment is a sign to move. You treat ease as a gift, not a trap. Hope returns, and your next step becomes clear. Here is how you move with wisdom and courage. Check the opportunity against what you have been praying for, and look for peace. Ask one trusted person who knows your journey, and listen with humility. Say yes if it aligns, then take one small step the same day. Keep a record of confirmations. Give thanks, and keep moving even if your hands shake. Here is the core truth you need to hold. When things align without strain, it is not coincidence, it is confirmation. Let that guide your pace. Scripture says that if you trust in the Lord with all your heart, and in all your ways submit to Him, He will make your paths straight, as written in Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. You will notice favor through open schedules, quick approvals, and people recommending you to others you have never met. Receive it, move with it, and thank God for it. Say yes, and walk through the path he just made clear. But with great favor also comes resistance. The enemy attacks hardest right before the blessing is released. Attacks often grow stronger when you are closest to change. Temptation spikes, conflict rises, and pressure appears from nowhere. It feels unfair, but it carries a message. Here is what that pressure is saying, and how to move through it. When resistance hits, many people think God left them. They see trouble and decide to quit. They feel defeated, stop praying, and pull back from people who could help. The heart grows cold, and the mind builds fear. But the pattern points to a different meaning. The enemy does not push hard against a weak threat. Intense resistance often means you are stepping into something powerful. The hardest part usually comes right before the promise. If you treat this as a sign to stop, you risk your future steps. You retreat from purpose and miss the final turn. The blessing moves forward, but you are not there to meet it. Breakthrough lost. I once watched a believer give up days before a good gift. They read the warfare as proof they were unworthy. They closed their Bible, cut off prayer, and hid in shame. Days later, the opportunity arrived, but they were absent. But then a new view brings hope. Intense resistance is not proof of failure. It is evidence you are near the place you asked for. This shift gives strength to stand and complete the final part. Stand firm in faith by using your voice. Say, I will not quit. I belong here, and God is with me. Recognize the source of opposition, so you do not fight people and miss the real fight. Push through the final stage with simple habits. Pray each day. Read one verse, and act on one clear step. Here is the core truth you must remember. Opposition reaches its highest level right before the promise. Pressure near the end does not mean turn back. It means keep moving. Scripture states this clearly in Ephesians 6:12, which says we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities. Many believers report the same pattern before a major blessing: sudden conflict, strange temptations, and heavy pressure. Treat that pattern as a signal to stand, not a reason to run. So when the blessing arrives, the real issue is your readiness to carry it.